This is a picture of Scott Christensen. He is my running coach from high school. Um, he can't be here today because of the corona outbreak, so he said he couldn't see his athletes during this time, so he's not gonna make an excuse to see me because that would be fair. So whatever, I get it, I understand. Doesn't I told him this before many times. So Scott is a world-renowned running coach. He coaches at Stoughton High School. He's been around the world. He's a Nike athlete. He's ran over 100,000 miles in his life. I think he's in his late 50s. He runs every day. He's been inducted into 7 Hall of Fames. He's coached Team USA and World's team. He travels around the world giving seminars and speeches on how to win and create a team. So I first met Scott in spring of 2013. I think, yeah. I was racing for Oakland Junior High in a track meet at one he was putting on for us, and he came up to me after the race and noticed me for my athletic performance I had the day, and he asked me to come run out for him in high school. So in fall of 2014, I joined his cross country season to see what it was like. Like I never ran long distance before, like that. So Scott was the coach for cross country and track. So I did both, as most of his runners did. Scott was intimidating at first. He has 100 kids on the track team or cross country team and one coach, so it's very unusual. And I showed up to practice one day, and they're all sitting around him like it was morning meeting, like in elementary school. And everyone knows Scott for giving his hour-long speeches and losing track of time. He said 15 more minutes, but it'll be like 45 more minutes, like that. And in the moment, everyone hated them, but you learn to enjoy them after high school because that he talks about giving life advice, and either it's advice or talking about the workout. So Scott aimed for an impact on his runners' lives. So he wanted to better each kid's life. So the program he runs is not only going to make you a better runner. It made me a better runner, but also made me a better person, and everyone else on that team. It showed hardship and how to control winning and losing. It Over those 4 years, we learned how to follow a plan and stick to it. Work out in the morning, eat right, rest, things to keep me in shape, and yeah, those things that we did every day for 4 years saved me to where I am today. From running in negative 30-degree weather to learning how to do an interview. Scott would walk you through everything. He knew how to adapt to certain situations when we needed to, had change the workout situations because of the weather. So I thank Scott for pushing me to my limit in life and in running. He pushed kids to the breaking point to see how hard they fall when they break, and then he would bring them back up and he would push them even harder. And that's what made him a super good coach. So Scott told us in fall of 2016, this was before our cross country state meet, that it was no 2 weeks before, because he wanted in life, it's not what you're willing to do to achieve something, it's what you're willing to give up. So either that's hanging out with, you have to give up hanging out with friends every day in the summer, like what I did. I didn't hang out with my friends hardly often. I had to give up sleepovers for 4 years. Oh, that was so hard because I know I love my friends, and I couldn't see them because I wanted to rest, recover to make sure I was ready for the next day of work in the morning. So I gave up sleepovers, getting out, hanging out with friends, gave up hanging, like going to the cabin, gave up everything. I lost friends, and I did what I had to do to better myself, and I thank Scott every day for it. When it comes to losing, Scott was hard on us. The only thing he told us was to live in the moment. So whenever you lost, live in the moment. See, see, see what it's like, what the feeling is. So then when you get to a point in training, you're like, I do not want to lose. Like you run harder because you don't want to feel that moment again. But when you winning doesn't happen often. So you have to live in the moment to see what it to like, because you never know when it's gonna happen again. So you wanna enjoy every single moment you have. And Scott's just he he's an amazing coach, and I thank him for everything he's done in my life. And Like also with losing, he helped us through it. Even 100 kid track team, it's hard to it's hard to keep track of, but he did it. And we have this thing called the 24-hour rule. So when you lose, or after race, even if you win, like if we won True Team State or lost True Team State, whether win or lose, we had a 24-hour rule, and you couldn't talk about a race 24 hours prior, because we had to move on and we had to worry about the next race. We had to train for the next race. We had to see whether we were ready for another. We had to see if we were ready for the next. We had to be ready for the next thing, and that includes my speech. I thank Scott Christensen every day for what he's done for me. I run every day to this day. I love it. It's a way to escape from life. We never need to. It's a way to deal with stress and everything like that. So I appreciate everything he's done for me, and yeah, that's the end of my speech. Thank you.